Real estate agents, if you're not following what's happening with the pre-market listing situation between Zillow, Redfin, Compass, and some of these other big tech companies, you better pay attention. In this episode of the Redefine Real Estate podcast, I'm going to go through it. I'm going to break it down, including the timeline of events, what happened, and my take on it so you can take it back for your clients as well. Today, we're going to talk about a very, very big shift that we've seen in the real estate market. I want to break down what this means. So if you're an agent in today's market, this is very, very important for you. If you're a buyer in today's market, this is critical for you. And if you're a seller in today's market, this is also very, very important. So let me break down the specifics. I'll talk a little bit about what that means for you, and then we'll kind of take it from there if that works. Over the past 12 to 18 months, something big really has happened in real estate. And at first, it looked like a simple disagreement between companies. Now it's clear it's a full-on shift in how listings are controlled, marketed, and seen by buyers. And if you're a real estate agent or if you're a buyer in today's market, like I said, this really does directly affect you. Let's break it down simply. What actually happened? Number one, Compass, which is a real estate brokerage, pushes a three-phase strategy: private listings, coming soon, and fully active. NAR, the National Association of Realtors, updates the rules to show and allow the delayed marketing options. That wasn't allowed before. Zillow pushes back with listing access standards. If it's public, it should be visible everywhere. Redfin initially agrees with Zillow, Compass sues Zillow, and the MLS. Fast forward to 26, Redfin partners with Compass. Zillow launches its own pre-market product, Zillow Preview. Compass drops the lawsuit. Wow, that was a lot, right? It was a lot. And so I wanted to explain the timeline of events, what happened. So basically what happened is these listings are only going to be posted on specific websites, and other companies are not happy about that. And so what does that mean for you? I wanted to talk about that. Let's just say you have a listing and you post it on the market. Well, you might see that on Zillow, Realtor.com, Compass, Redfin, all these different sites. But now with this new strategy, you might not see that on all those sites. So if you're a seller, you're only going to be visible certain places. If you're a buyer, you're not going to have access to all the listings that you think you do just by going to one website. Let's just say you use Zillow. You might go to Zillow and not see all the listings. So where are we today after this all played out? We no longer have one system. We have multiple ecosystems: Zillow and Trulia, Compass and Redfin, private brokerage networks, local MLS rules, which is a whole different conversation. That means one simple thing: buyers can no longer use one place to see everything. So this is my take, and I want to be direct. All these companies are doing what companies do. They're making decisions that serve their business model, their data, and their market share. I understand that, but let's not pretend this is about the consumer. It's not. The real problem is the market is becoming fragmented. Instead of one clear place to see all listings, we now have multiple platforms, multiple rules, and partial visibility. A buyer might see some homes on Zillow, some homes on Redfin, some only through a brokerage, like I was just saying. Some are not public at all. This creates confusion. And where there's confusion for the consumer, if you're a buyer or an agent, what does that mean? Why this actually makes agents more important? This is the part most people are missing. The more fragmented the market becomes, the more valuable the agent becomes, because now consumers can't rely on one website. They don't know what they're missing. They don't understand how listings are being sent out. So what becomes the source of truth? You do. When I mean you, I mean if you're an agent, you become the source of truth. And that's what's so crazy about these changes. None of these changes are in the customer's best interest. If you're a buyer, this is not good for you. How does it make sense to need to go to 20 different places? If you're a seller, how does it make sense to be on one website instead of 100 websites? It doesn't. This is about tech companies competing for data. And so if you're a buyer in today's market, it's never been more important to connect with a real estate agent as early as possible, because they're going to help you create less confusion in the marketplace. They're going to help you tell where these listings are, what's available, what's not available, and you can send everything through them so they can fact check for you. And if you're an agent, it's the flip side. You need to be the source of all this information. You need to understand how these different real estate companies work. You need to understand how the MLS is working through this, and you need to understand how this happens in today's market so you can best serve your clients. These tech companies are competing on greed, and once again, real estate agents will be here to help you out along the way. Hopefully you took a lot of good information from this episode of the Redefine Real Estate podcast. My name is Matt Talbot. I am the host of this podcast, also the broker owner of Redefine Real Estate in Southeast Michigan. If you're curious on how we help experienced real estate agents scale, send me an email at info@listingmi.com, listingmi.com. Thanks so much for checking out today's show.